Let's see if Risi. All right, he followed the check-in box. All right.
Yeah, we gotta go with this one now.
All right, here we go. I apologize for the delay. Here we go. We're going to be launching into another round of 64 match between IAmSoldieR and Risi123. The map is Kamchatka. And
winter version.
The winter version of Kamchatka, yes, indeed. And the matchup is Russia versus Portuguese. Introducing our players, spawning down on the bottom right side of the map, playing the Portuguese civilization. In the color blue is the one and only Soldier Boy. And his opponent spawning in the upper left side of the map in the 11 o'clock position, playing the red Russian civilization, is Risi123. I don't know much about Risi. I think I've seen him in a couple of team games, but I don't know that I've seen him playing a lot of 1v1. So,
my understanding of him was that he was in the PR27 range, not 33. So I'm interested to see.
We'll see how that ends up shaking out for him. Of course, Soldier needs very little introduction. A fairly well-known player from both the old times and the new. Consistently, been one of those PR 40-ish players, and as a result, did he not actually get any crates?
No, Newport's is funny. You get 3 crates total. And I was going to actually mention this. It actually nerfs A's 10-10, and he still did it, right? Because if you make only 3 bills, then it only saves you 60 food from the cheaper bills, but you're out of food crates. So technically, you're down 40 food. But not a big deal, but all these little numbers in the early game are what we try to tweak to balance. So interesting to note. Soldier just realizing that he spawned with only 200 wood and 100 food total. So thought he was missing some crates, but not the case.
LOL, is my game bugged? I think I didn't start with the correct crates. But going to be playing the Portuguese. We talked about this matchup briefly right before the launch of the game. I did mention that to some degree, because it is a fairly high hunt map, Portuguese options are better. Certainly, I think on lower hunt maps where Russia can really abuse the tempo that they have with 5 Cossack, 4 Cossack, it's a little bit harder for ports, but we'll see how many of these hunts. Soldier right now has not done a very good job scouting around his base, so he doesn't really have too much knowledge of where his hunts actually have spawned in. He can see the one to the north side and should start hurting that, but it is going to take a fairly significant amount of hunts for him to really feel safe, and as a result, we'll see how that ends up shaking out. Currently, a little bit of explorer combat going on. We have definitely a swashbuckle going on here.
The thing is, though, it's in the favor. Interestingly enough, Risi started this little duel here, but he was down on HP, so he's going to lose his own duel.
Ooh! Just had a bird fly over.
We have Bill coming to win it. Sorry to cut you off, dude. Bill's coming to win this fight. That's some hardcore stuff right here. And I approve of this move actually, because having explorer control is usually. You can get a treasure that makes up for the millisecond. So, interesting play, and I think it's going to pay off.
Yeah. We'll see. That villager is up here. And, I mean, to be honest, it's not that big of a waste, right? I mean, Risi is likely going to be sending villagers forward to build a blockhouse. Oh, but, well, Soldier gets away anyways, it looks like.
Yeah, you can always get away, right?
Yeah, but not the end of the world for him, because he is going to want to be sending a villager forward at some point anyways to be able to build a blockhouse and stuff like that. So, age up in queue for Soldier. Nice little wood treasure down here to the south. See if either player picks it up. Looks like the answer is going to be no.
Interesting. Soldier sees that too. He's probably going to be. He's probably see it now when he walks over and be sad about it.
What's this treasure he's currently working on? Working on a little bit of a 40 XP treasure. Can pick both of those up, and he is starting to hurt, and I think that's the important thing. He hadn't hurted very much early on, but we can see villagers forward here for Risi. Certainly, I think we can expect aggression out of him, and hurting these hunts is going to be very important. I'm actually a little disappointed that he hasn't started hurting this hunt a little bit more as well. I think it would be in his best interest to have that as close to under his town center as possible at the start of the game, but. We'll see what ends up happening. Trading post coming down for Risi here in the middle of the map instead of a blockhouse. I'm a bit curious as to what he's going to be doing, because if we take a look at his resource counts and his villagers being sent forward, it looks like it's obviously a 14 villager age up, had the market, has hunting dogs, but still no
spyglassed it. So Soldier knows too. Soldier just spyglassed the TP. So I agree with you. I don't know what he's going to do. You would expect the Black House and 5 Cossacks, right? But Soldier just spyglasses a TP. So, maybe, and I think there's still going to be, here's the Black House. And, the problem is you need to be gathering food as Russia while you're aging. Otherwise, you can't really do much. So, and his herding also kind of has suffered a bit, I think, as part of trying to set all this up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a more economic build. We can see villagers being prioritized in the queue instead of military units. The Black House not even done yet. And
it doesn't even matter though. No resources to make anything.
Yeah, well, he's got villagers in queue, and he's got some upgrades from the market started as well. But like you mentioned, not going to be able to train any infantry units out of his Black House to start with. And I would suspect as a result of that, we probably won't see 5 Cossacks. Likely something more along the lines of 700 wood or something similar. So. Looks like Risi just going to be playing a slightly more economic version of Russia. I don't think that's necessarily wrong, but
no, I don't think so either.
We'll see what ends up happening. Stable coming down for Soldier. Both players sending 700 wood as kind of to be expected of both of these civilizations in the current present situation. And we'll see how things continue to shake up. Hussars going to be in queue here for Soldier. And likely muskets going to be coming out for Risi as his first military units. Also, though, playing
no stagecoach too.
Yeah, still playing a pretty economic style here, and I kind of like this. I like where he's going with his build. Honestly, I think it's an interesting take on his civilization.
Yeah, I love this build. This is more. It's not exactly this way, but this is more along the lines of how I play Russia. Similar goal. The goal is to get the same kind of things, just do it a little bit differently. But I think Stagecoach coming in here would be kind of nice. At the same time, Soldier is going to drop a TP here, so maybe not, right? He has no. Usually, you want to be in a position to also kind of hold this bottom TP, but there's no units from Risi. So, and the stable's about to get sniped by these 5 cat. That's going to be a big deal.
Yep.
Totally tangential to what I was saying, but
lone villager out there is going to get killed. The stable is going to be shut down as well, which is going to be pretty unfortunate. A pretty risky spot to be building the stable, honestly.
Ooh.
And some poor herding here by Risi.
He's about to pay the price.
Yeah, has resulted in some very exposed villagers. 1 villager certainly going to go down. 5 Cossack shipment has arrived, so that is going to, at the very least, buy him a little bit more time. Risi trying to get some villagers up here to deal some damage. Decent micro by Soldier, killing one of the Cossacks. One of the Hussar has dropped down, though, as well. Some of the Hussar on pretty low HP is going to get a second Cossack. Second Hussar has dropped as well. Third Hussar going down. It looks like Risi is going to be able to clean this up with fairly minimal damage. Looks like one of the Hussar trying to come in here. Oh man, if it kills that villager, that's a little bit of a misstep. But looks like it's not going to end up happening. And, Soldier does get all of his cattle cleaned up. But I think he got 2 villagers total out of it for the price as well. So
well managed by him, too. If you think, there's 2 low HP villas and he knows where they are. He's going to try to go pick those up right now. This Hussar going to get caught out here, actually, by some muskets. But I think he could just run right by. Right? It looks like he's going to try to pivot and get in there still. But behind all this, he's got exactly 1,000 coin. Walls are out, and he's just gathering food for his HF. So, he's going to make it past that early Russian aggression that people often fear. Ooh, but all these Hussars are getting caught out here by the Musket Cossack combo, and another really bad trade for Soldier.
Yeah, another less than ideal trade. And here comes 4 Cossacks as well, so the pressure is going to start ramping up a little bit more out of Risi. It is worth noting that he does have a pretty good economy behind this. Remember, he didn't go super all in with his build, so is up to 24 economic unit population, has
plus
the infrastructure, has Stagecoach. So I mean, he's got a pretty good eco, and at the very least, Soldier has been forced to ship another shipment, 700. Food and train some more Hussars. Now, of course, he does have this wall. He does also have 2 town centers firing away, and has all these Minutemen available out of these 2 town centers as well. So all of those things are worth noting, but still in a fairly precarious position.
What I want to see Soldier do right here is pop bills out the back of the TC and just pound once on each of those segments, and then call minutes with the Explorer hand attack and just totally kill everything here. Yep. But either way, he's going for the catch. I expect minutes to fully pop out here in a second. There they are. And 5 more Hussar. Musk is trying to go into hand attack, caught by the minutes. Hussars on either side. The left side are getting caught quite badly. But 13 Strelets joining the mix are not going to help at all here. Yeah. And it looks like the Hussar are just going to clean up everything here, including those Strelets that are just going to be caught out once the Cossacks disappear here.
Yep. Very good trade for Soldier. Really good outcome. Certainly what he was looking to accomplish. The one caveat here is that he did have to train a bunch more Hussar, and as a result, his age up is significantly slowed down as a result, but certainly at the cost of winning this fight in a very impactful way. Going to be able to allow him to push out back across the middle of the map, continue to kill more of these units, and as a result, I think he's going to be perfectly fine with the outcome of this fight. Even slowing down his age up a little bit, I think he's going to be okay with that and not be too worried about that. He's still going to be looking to age up fairly soon, and well, at the same time, going to be able to continue to apply some more rating pressure. Still, 6 Hussar left here.
He's got more Hussar in the queue. He's making 5 more, so he's not even going to age. I agree with your analysis, though. I think he should be aging, but he's not going to. He's opting to continue this Hussar spam here. So
yeah, it's kind of a dangerous thing to do, right? I mean, if he's going to stick it out and age too much longer, he's going to need to start mixing some infantry, which he currently doesn't have, which is a little bit scary to me. I'd like to see him training some infantry should he continue to stick this out, but that's not going to happen just yet. Look at this Hussar in the back on 2 HP.
Yeah, but it could get 2 builds here. I'm watching for it. Oh no, Risi's on top of it. That Hussar's dead now. Nice punch by Risi there, actually. That could have been a bill had it not gone the way it did. Looks like Soldiers are starting to move out a little bit here with 8 crossbow and 5 Huss, and he may just be opting for Colonial. I mean, he has earned himself a 11 bill lead, not factoring in the extra Stagecoach TP and Distributivism. If you factor those guys in, he's up by only 4 or 5 bills, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to win against this Russian master with how these fights have been going.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, he has to have a barracks realistically very soon because there's going to be too many Cossacks here for him to deal with. He doesn't really have any way to defend against these 8 crossbowmen that are currently out. He has no way to defend them. 6 musket aren't going to come out, going to help reinforce his infantry slightly, but still in a bit of a precarious situation. And so often we say, what do ports need? They need to secure hunts. Look at what Soldier is, his current map position. I mean, he doesn't have that much hunt remaining. He has this hunt remaining, and then the one that's likely in the black of the map back there. But that's going to be pretty hard to control long term. I
agree.
But just pushing out across the middle of the map here a little bit, take a look at the military unit population, heavily in favor of Russia. But of course, his units are significantly weaker as a result. So we'll see if this gets raided. This could be a big raid coming in here from these.
It is good. He's going to get it too. If you look at the mini-map, I'm sure that Soldier scouted this. But equally concerning, as you said, this is the only place to gather resources. Racks in progress. But oh my goodness, this catch is going to be just massive for him. And that's going to trigger Risi pushing now. So is Soldier going to be able to get out of here and kind of set up shop somewhere else? In the meantime, he needs these Hussars back there if he's going to defend his own base. So.
Yeah. Definitely a scary pusher by Risi. Fortunately for Soldier, he does have pretty good building placement. He's got some wall segments up that will help defend this front side of his base, buy him a little bit more time while he continues to raid with his Hussar. But at the same time, I don't know how much time he can realistically buy here. He's not going to have that much more food income coming into his bank. Right now he's got 400 food, and he's pretty much at a hard stop for food. Going to take this engagement. Has a couple Hussar up front.
He's got to fight it, too.
Yeah, does have 1 set of Minutemen available from the back town center. We'll see if those get added into the mix. Crossbow in the back, trying to be as effective as possible. Minutemen do come from that back town center, unfortunately not rallied directly into the fight. Doing a pretty good job of body blocking the Cossacks, though, with his remaining Hussar and Musketeers. Getting a decent trade here. The Minutemen now are adding a little bit DPS, and meanwhile, these Hussar doing some absolute terror to Risi's base, causing him all sorts of problems. Looks like more Hussar going to be coming in here, and I think Soldier's held at home. I think he's okay back at home. These Hussar back near Risi's base have been absolutely detrimental. If you take a look at the economic unit population, plenty of villagers have been killed by those Hussar raids, and as a result, All of a sudden, Risi in a little bit of a tricky position here. Moving forwards, he's just lost his entire army, and he's spread pretty thin. His next hunt is way out here. He's going to try and gather from that again, but should the Hussars make a return trip up there, once again, pretty scary in terms of defending. Soldier has discovered this location down to the south, which is I'm pretty sure what he's happy about.
Yeah, exactly.
And has found some more placed together hunts, and at the same time, you have to expect that he's going to be making a return trip up here. Sometime
right now, he's on the express train right up there.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing here, which is what we're seeing, is that Russian units just don't do anything. Like, he had a lot of units. He even didn't have that bad of an engage. They just didn't do anything. And so, we're in this position now where Soldier's really struggling, or not Soldier, Risi's struggling to kind of regain control of the map.
Yep. Oh, look at this. Soldier building these 2 outposts right up here. I don't know that that's the best investment of 500 wood.
He's covering those 3 houses with 500 wood.
Essentially, yeah.
He's putting 2 up down here, though, as well. Actually, 3 up down here. So he's just dropped, all over 1,000 wood into towers right now.
Yeah, well, at the very least, he is securing some more hunts and coin mines down here to the south. But these 2 outposts out front, aside from Risi trying to directly head-on engage these 3 houses, I don't know that there's too much of a threat here. But if nothing else, they'll add in some extra DPS to this fight. We can see the Hussar did look like they were trying to do a little bit of raid up there, but it looks like they're going to be forced to come back here. Nope. Instead,
I like this.
Yeah, they're just going to go. They're going to go raiding. Gotten spotted out by the muskets. There is a blockhouse up here as well that they will be able to take refuge in, but. Soldier, fortunately for him, does have most of his economy centralized back down here to the south of the map. And look he's all over the place with his Hussar, just trying to cause as much trouble as possible, taking a little engagement back here by this blockhouse. Going to be able to clean up some muskets and some Cossacks as well for his cost. And in the meanwhile, realistically, isn't really too bothered with losing anything out here.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting these nice little raids everywhere on the map.
It's actually Soldier's doing this just right. A lot of times we see people just kind of get folded over by Russia in mid-colonial, and it's because they're not doing this. They're not. They're just trying to stand and fight against Russia too much, and that when all of Russia's units are in one place and get to engage, all of them firing, it's actually pretty scary. But with the way Soldier's been playing this. I mean, you can see he's getting caught up here, but he's killed so many villagers, right? And he's got Risi all over the map.
Yeah, look at the economic unit population when the dust settles here. 56 to 31. Certainly still the Portuguese player in the advantage. And realistically, I mean, what did he lose up here? Really nothing. Bought him some time to get aged up. 2 houses, a couple towers. Gonna lose the wagon, it looks like. But still... realistically in a pretty good spot. Probably does need to consider doing stuff like bringing back these Hussar, getting ready to hold this push. Because once he holds this one last push, he's in a pretty good position just to flat out win the game. But this is kind of the one remaining scary point here for Soldier. He does have to deal with this army in a somewhat efficient manner. Because once again, he is starting to run out of resources. The south side of the map starting to get a little bit more barren in terms of resources. Looks like he has 2 stables up. A bunch of Dragoons going to be popping out. Dragoon combat being sent as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. Look at these. Where's these infantry going? There they go.
I think he just didn't see the goons pop out. There's so much blue in the base. It's funny, though, because this isn't stopping Soldier's economy at all. His economy is here and here. And so really all this is doing is just feeding muskets into town centers in a way. I like deleting that wall segment to get out there. Very clever. Probably couldn't gate it. But goons are going to be really hard for Risi to deal with. I mean, and there's still these 4 Hussar there about to catch all of these villagers.
And the best kind of raid, right? The raid where your
opponent walks. The AFK raid, yeah.
The AFK raid.
He actually is walking past.
There he notices him a little bit. Risi likewise notices it a little bit, but has to be a little bit frustrating for him. He doesn't really have anywhere to gather hunts from at this point in the game. Going to lose another 2, 3, maybe even 4 villagers here. And Risi continues to try and run in to these two town centers, which realistically is not providing him with what he really needs. And now the Dragoon mass is really just starting to grow. Economic unit population up to 60 for Soldier. Going to have a pretty easy time kiting away from all of these units here. And well, I don't know what Risi can really do. This is the point where Russia really struggles against Skirm Goon, and especially against this number of Dragoon combat upgraded Dragoons, going to be very, very difficult for him to deal with.
And he's got the arsenal ready to go for the range upgrade, you know. So I'm not sure if it's in or not. I think it is not in yet. But when it does come in,
he's got it. Range cavalry caracal. Yeah, it's researched.
Got it. So with that tech in mind now, like with all the short range units Russia has, he's going to be cost effective with these goons, which is what he needs. Because when you look at the map, he's down to his last 36 food. He needs to go for a full mill transition here and full plantation transition, really. So the fact that these goons are not going to die to anything is exactly what he needs. He can't be affording to trade at all evenly right now.
Yeah, and 1,000 coin coming in for Soldier, which signals to me that something like Mamelukes are going to be coming here very soon. Well, in fact, Soldier's actually already got the coin he really would need for Mamelukes.
I think it's just he knows the coin mines are running out. He's just trying to sustain a little bit longer.
Yeah. And truthfully, I mean, this Dragoon mass is getting scarier by the minute as well.
Yep.
There's just no great way to deal with it. And like you mentioned, the hunts are pretty much depleted at this point on the map. And, I mean, the prospects of Russia transitioning to mills at this point is just absolutely like horrible. Like I can't imagine having to try and transition into mills from this position still in age 2.
Yeah, exactly.
But try as he might, Risi's still not dead, so going to continue to push around. I think Soldier can just engage here. He has to know that his opponent is running a little thin. Perhaps if he can get one more little raid back off over here, he'll be good. Or perhaps he's just waiting for another shipment and going to be sending Mamelukes.
I just like the way that he's playing this. Like he's not being lazy with his goons at all, and that's gonna definitely lock down the win. You notice how just once again just so effectively being traded there, just killing like 20, 30 units for a single goon, and just ridiculous how well those are trading.
Another big AFK raid. Soldier has been standing these 4 hussars in some very smart places on top of coin mines, on top of hunts, and is getting paid back quite nicely as a result of it, killing another 4 villagers there. Looks like they're just going to go back to standing right on top of that coin mine.
Where do you think that spyglass went? Maybe here? I don't know. Interesting. Big goon raid coming in.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, but I think we're going to see Mamelukes here. No, I think we're going to see an age up here pretty quick out of Soldier.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, he's also got veteran hussar, so there's nothing in the queue though. So he's definitely about to click up. I agree. Yeah. There it goes. He just dropped it.
I wonder what cards he has in age 4 available to him. Just the standard stuff. He's got Genitors and the 2 factories, so nothing too crazy in his age 4 deck. Nothing like heavy cannons or anything like that. But certainly the prospect of having Jeanette Dragoons is scary enough by itself at this point.
I've been starting to call them Falcoons because they're just like their range is so long. It's like just having a falconet and a goon in one.
Yeah, that's true. Looks like Soldier's going to take this fight. The 2 hussars up there, up front, tanking a little bit of damage.
Soaking, yeah.
But the Dragoons going to continue to kite their way back, and it looks like they're just going to scoot down out here to the south side. Going to happen across a whole bunch more villagers, and Risi just can't buy a break when it comes to gathering resources. Soldier doing a good job of being very active around the map, picking up another 2 villager kills. And unfortunately, if we flip on over to the text being researched, we can see, well, Risi is aging up with the adventurer politician, but unfortunately his opponent is similarly aging up with the tycoon politician, which is going to spell even more frustration for him. Soldier also has just a wealth of resources at this point, can immediately research his Jeanette upgrade from his stable, and as a result is going to make his Dragoon mass just all that much more scary. Can also send Genitors, and at that point, I mean, Russia just, the range on their infantry just isn't what they need to be able to. I mean, I don't know that there realistically is any response for Jeanettes from Russia, like in any age?
I think Strelets are the answer still. Just I know the range is a problem, but realistically speaking, like you can put people into positions where they have to kind of engage. It's not easy for sure though.
Yeah, I mean you just have to have so many Strelet that you can just continually ram them down the throat. So that I mean at some point the Dragoons run out of range because they're backed up to the edge of the map with Strelets running at them from all sides, which is the difficult thing to do.
Yeah. And I think Risi's realizing that he may be down for the count when he saw the H4 come in. But I think he's also just going to play it out a little bit until his army kind of gets wrecked here by 20 range industrial goons, which is definitely what's coming.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we have mass cavalry being researched from the church and Jeanette's being researched right now. Let's flip back over to the shipments, and yeah, we can also see Genitours has been sent as well. So these Dragoons currently 360 hit points, 41 ranged attack, with just some insane stats. So that's going to be the game. Risi calls GG. Has acknowledged that he is probably too far behind to ever catch up. Soldier pushing the 80 villager mark, and Risi's still down at 35. Game number 1 going on over to Soldier in this best of 3. Next map will be... I'm blanking on the name of it. Baja, California.
Correct. And a great that would be a great map reports as well, but I think we've already seen that, so...
Yeah, it's a pretty good map reports. A little bit of fish action going on. But game number 2 coming up in a moment between Soldier and Risi. What time is it? I also want to make sure that we stay on the schedule for the rest of the games.
It is currently 2 p.m., which would put us at 14 plus 5, 19 GMT. Is that correct?
Almost 19 GMT. Yeah, it sounds close enough to me.
We got one more game here, and then we can hop over to the rest of the schedule, right? So.
Or is it almost 20 GMT?
I hate that we have savings time, GMT time.
Yeah,
It is 17. It's 8 p.m. GMT time, so it's almost 20 GMT.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll have the next matchup is Goodspeed versus Tibia, and that will be in right immediately following this match.
Yes, exactly.
I don't see Goodspeed online just yet.
Yeah, we need to respond to my message. He said 30 minutes, he had food coming. That was 50 minutes ago, so he's around.
Okay. Soldier's going to allow me to pick his civilizations. I'm going to sneak Japan in there.
Damn. Oh. I thought you were just saying same civ.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Yeah, I thought when he said stay, I just assumed he meant not change at all.
I see.
So we're good.
Soldier. I'm lagging.
He actually is lagging. His internet's garbage for some reason. Like, we live so close to each other, but for some reason he'll have these problems.
Do you have the same internet service provider?
I'm not sure.
Who's your ISP?
My ISP is Comcast, and I have like the entry-level business connection for my house because I just can't be bothered to, like I don't spend money on much, so may as well have internet that works.
Yeah. What speed is your internet?
It's like 125 down and then 25 up.
It's pretty good. I just have like I have Comcast as well, but I only have like the 50 meg down version, but it works.
Yeah, like the Blast or whatever. They have like fancy marketing names for all their things.
They keep charging me a random amount of money as well.
Yeah, so true. You just never know how much.
you never know how much money they're going to charge you until like the date, like it actually happens. Like, oh look, I had to pay $80 this month, like randomly. Like, who knew that's how much it was going to be?
Yeah, it's like, sorry, sir, you have these set-top boxes that you never ordered. Like, there's all these random things they're charging you for. It's like,
it's pretty BS. But game number 2. Loading into the map Baja, California, between Risi123 and IAmSoldieR. Soldier was asking for civilization choices. In the first game, I mentioned Portuguese. Game number 2, I've instructed him that Japan would be a fun civilization to play. As many people know, Japan is my favorite civilization, and he is, well, it looks like he's been willing to dance my little dance. He's going to be playing the Japan civilization. So spawning in the blue color, playing Japan on the right side of the map, is IAmSoldieR. And his opponent, playing the red Brits, spawning on the left side of the map, is going to be Risi123. Hopefully Soldier's internet connection can hang with us for the entirety of this game.
I think we'll make it just fine.
Yeah. Both players, of course, playing fairly economic civilizations. Soldier is complaining that his game is bugged. He does not have the ability to hunt, which, of course, anyone who's played Age of Empires 3 knows is completely par for the course for the Japan civilization. But yeah, both players playing economic civs, and this is one of those matchups that I kind of swing back and forth on. Sometimes I think it's Brit favored, and sometimes I think it's Japanese favored. I think realistically, all trying to be an impartial, unbiased judge, I think it's probably a fairly even matchup.
Yeah, with an edge to British, I think.
Yeah, I think it's probably slightly British favored, but on a map like this where the hunts aren't super good, perhaps it could be a little bit more in Japan favored. This is one of those maps where there is plenty of hunt. I mean, if we take off the fog of war, we can see all these little brown speckles. There's tons of hunt, but they're kind of like awkward little packs of hunt, right? Which is kind of nice for Japan, especially if you go Port Cons. You can drop down 1 or 2 shrines on each of these little locations, spread out the map, get lots of vision. And for the British player, it's a lot more difficult to manage these hunts just in terms of like actually gathering them up. Versus Japan, you set down your shrines, one and done, don't have to think about it ever again. So it's kind of nice in that regard. But traditionally speaking, I think on a higher hunt map, I would put it maybe like 55-45 in terms of British favor. But right now, I think it's this map
Dead even,
is maybe evens it up a little bit.
I think you're right on that. Interesting to note, Soldier did get housed for about 10 seconds there. A little misstep by him. Why no offshore? Interesting. Soldier, I'm going to checking both decks. I'm sure we'll see Soldier as offshore support and Admiralty, so he's probably planning to abuse the water, or at least try to stop the other player from doing so.
Yeah, I think it's more so with Japan, an attempt, at least on this map, to try and stop the other player from abusing water, if nothing else. But Risi picking up a pretty nice little treasure over here, 80 wood, certainly going to be helping him out as he transitions into the colonial age.
Yeah, and I think Soldier doesn't know that that's over there, but he's on his way, so he might actually stumble onto it in time. He's not quite there. Not quite gonna get there. But he is also getting his own. He's getting 2 sheep, which is actually not a bad treasure for Japan at all, especially on this map where your Shrine Wander's likely going to be a little empty.
Yeah, so. That's true. Soldier's hunts have started to wander away from his base. I could still put this Shuga like right out here and still probably get probably 5 or 6 animals on it at some point. It looks like it's good.
And then you get the other 2 from the sheep, right? Yeah. So you're good.
Yep. Laying down the Shuga Shrine, Risi is aging up far in advance. He's actually aging with the Philosopher Prince, which is interesting to me because I've always considered Governor to be pretty good on this particular matchup. Mart said something fairly profound to me during one of the original Fan Patch Balance games that I thought was really clever in this matchup, is that you can use that governor. Age up tower almost like you can in any other matchup to help secure the map, right? I mean, if you put it on top of hunts, if you kill the shrine, the monk can't realistically ever come back to that hunt until the tower is down, because he'll get shot and killed while he's building the shrine. So in a similar way that you can use the outpost to help secure the map, in terms of just guarding your hunts against villagers and military units, you can also use it to kind of just ward off Japanese monks. And so if you put it in a smart spot where it blocks choke points and restricts the movement of the Japanese monks, similarly, you can use it to help control the shrine population quite nicely from the Japanese player as well. So interesting choice is aging up with the 500 Food Philosopher Prince, which signals to me aggressive longbow pike. I think that's the only reason why you would realistically choose that over the governor politician.
Yeah, exactly, and I agree with you on that. When I play this matchup, I go tower, but I put it like here, or you put it up here, and it's just in addition to that, it's like where the explorers are at all times, right? Because once you've eliminated that they're not up here, that means you can be down here with your army, and all of a sudden you're containing so much more effectively than if you're trying to scour the fog of war for already finished houses that are making hunts stand a little weird, and just much more efficient to have that tower line of sight helping you out.
Yep.
But this also works, as you said. There's 5 pikes already on the field. He's got his racks in a nice spot. 3 shrines right around him, ready to get picked off. And we see Soldier walling in, already on the defensive. So
yeah, I think a little bit of a misplay by Soldier. Well, maybe not a misplay, but maybe just not comfortable playing the Civ. On a 300 wood start, I don't see a reason why Japan should ever age up that late. To be perfectly honest, it's pretty slow age up. It's like 520, which on 300 wood is not expected. I would say traditionally Japan on 300 wood should consistently be able to hit under 5 minutes, likely sometime around 450 realistically, but perhaps just uncomfortable with the matchup and not understanding the matchup that well, or the Civ that well. A little bit of a pause here for the lag. I think it's Soldier who is the one who's having the issues.
I've had this happen quite a bit. When I play with it once in a while, it'll just lag.
There's Chicago internet, third world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You gotta get to that blast,
Gotta hit up the blast. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think by us leaving we'll do this.
No.
We'll do the game any good at this point. I mean, we're already 6 minutes in. If we were to restart, well, there's no point in restarting, I don't think. All right, here we go. All right, launching back into the game. The 2 barracks have been put down by Risi. I think that's important to note. There are some pikes coming out here as well, which are going to help start to control the map on these, killing some of these shrines, which is definitely going to be helpful. And I think at some point in the near future, we're going to start to see some longbows be produced, just to give him some sort of way to start attacking the front of Soldier's base. 600 wood coming from Soldier, completely normal. He has also immediately sent the 3 fishing boats from the Portuguese consulate, which is going to help improve his economy ever so slightly in that regard as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Soldier is currently working with 100 shrine population, which if you factor in the 2 or 3 shrines that have been lost due to these pikemen running around, means he's been pretty actively building his shrines. Actually sending 600 wood twice is his first 2 cards here. Not sure how I feel about that. Only 1 barracks going down. with this large influx of wood, you have to be wondering what he's going to do. And while it looks like we have our answer, Dock coming up, or Market coming up rather as well, and it looks like he's just going to be playing the wall and defend game here with this Dock and all of this wood that he's currently got underneath his town center.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even gathered. Like, he had both crates fully stacked without touching either one of them. Like, that's a lot of wood to have just sitting around in your base. Interestingly enough, though, I'm not sure I feel about this play, really. I mean, he's been shrining all around the map, and he's already gotten 3, 4. He's going to get 5, 6 more shrines, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think he could realistically kill 10 shrines right now without any effort whatsoever. And that's just, like, look at the villager counts. So Brit's starting to pull ahead. They have more military, more vills, and all of the wood crates that soldiers sent has been dumped into houses that are just getting destroyed by 10 pikes.
Yeah, houses and walls, to be perfectly honest. I mean,
and walls.
Look at the sheer number of walls he's built.
And they don't even close off either. Like, down here, at some point, if Risi just wants to, he could just walk in and kill him too.
Yeah. So there is that to mention. But he is at least buying himself some time, and that's what he's going to need. He's going to need some time because there's all sorts of military units flooding forward here from Risi. We can take a look at the military queue. 21 longbows and 9 pikes versus the 7 lone Yumi archers are all that are currently out on the map. Obviously, the lag affecting both players, and it's a little bit disappointing, but I don't know that there's much we can do.
Yeah, I think it's just soldier.
Risi, I say it.
It's actually going to help Risi quite a bit, though. This is a very technical matchup for Japan, and for Brit, it's more of a stand and fight matchup. So, the lag is not going to be impacting Risi quite as much.
Longbows, certainly having the range advantage, can kind of just stand there and shoot, which makes them very good against the Yumis. But we'll see. Town center currently firing away. Only 4 villagers in the town center, but why is he on a wireless connection?
I just had a feeling he'd be on wireless. You can tell because it comes in waves. So it's like, you know how Wi-Fi works. We'll go before the stream with trying to educate on how Wi-Fi works. But long story short, shouldn't be on Wi-Fi if you want to play competitive games online. These 4 pikes still kind of idle here, but 9 pikes in total. And that pike count is basically, it's really important to track because the more pikes there are on the field, the less of a clock soldiers going to have to keep shrines up.
Yep, and I like this number of pikes, right? Like, he's only made these 10 pikes, and that's a good number. You can just consistently have 10 pikes running around the map, controlling the map, killing shrines as they're being produced, and then just pressuring with this big longbow mass. And I think that's exactly what he needs. And I'm a bit concerned here for Soldier, to be perfectly honest. His dock play is going to be very slow. He doesn't even have any sort of he doesn't have like the schooner's equivalent for Japan or anything like that. Since he's paying full price for those fishing ships, and the return on that investment is going to be very, very slow.
Yeah, and then also we have Naginata coming out here. This is only hope. I have no idea. This lag looks like it could be at least 4 or 5 seconds of solid command lag, and these Nagis could just get tons of kills because of it. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, well, there they go. The Pike's coming forward to try and body block a little bit, and it looks like they will be able to do so. Soldier killing some
Musket's
of the walls.
coming out too.
Yeah, plenty of kills for the Nags. Going to be able to push back the longbows, but I don't know that it's necessarily going to matter. There's still quite a lot of British units here, and this is, I actually like what he's doing here, using some of the pikes to start sieging on that Teshugu, because if the Teshugu goes down, I mean, you're absolutely boned as Japan. Your economy takes a very significant hit, and everything that you've been working for to try and establish the shrines really
is nerfed, right?
It's gone. So. By just keeping these 3 pikes sieging away on that, the clock is just ticking, right? I mean, Soldier not only has to clear the army in his base, but he has to stop those pikes from sieging the Shugu as well, because should he not be able to do that, he's effectively going to be dead. I think we're 10 minutes into the game. We have to finish this one, right?
Yeah. I understand his pain.
Yeah. But I mean, if
you knew this was coming the whole time, right? So
Yeah.
fair enough, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. This is why I don't get into games past 2 minutes in tournament when it's just like, yeah, I just won't do it.
Yeah.
Because if you lose, you're like, oh, this sucks. I could have won this game if I could move my units.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if we had to make an objective judgment based on who's ahead, I don't think it's. I mean, I don't think anyone disagreed that Risi's far ahead at this point in the game.
Yeah, and the other thing about these situations, like this gives Soldier a chance to reevaluate his build, right? Like he had to try something here, and it's
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just look at the military unit population: 39 versus 4. I mean, truthfully, is Soldier ever going to dig himself out of this hole of military unit population? And the answer is probably not. Unfortunately for him, but
Hussar's coming in too. I like how he switched to musket Huss. It really rounds him out.
Yeah, and there's the resign. Soldier knows he's too far behind, and as a result has resigned. Game number 2 going over to Risi.
Yeah.
I say it at beginning.
Do you want to try casting this one solo and just see real